graduates, family members, and guests, please rise as you are able for the Winter 2025 Commencement Academic Procession of the official party, led by graduates of each school and college selected for the special honor of carrying their respective flag. Please remain standing and join Lizzie Cantwell, Bachelor of Music, Music Education, Class of 2025 degree candidate, in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say
Good morning. Please be seated. Thank you, Lizzie, for that wonderful performance. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Zumbrunnen, Interim Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. On behalf of the university's leadership, faculty, and staff, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our Winter 2025 commencement. I was pausing there, graduates, so you can make some noise. As provost here at UW-Madison, I work with the deans of all the schools and colleges to ensure that we are offering academic programs that are second to none. The excellent educational experiences we provide are grounded in the talent, dedication, and hard work of our faculty and staff. I know I'm joined by all of our graduating students in thanking them for everything that they do. As we get started, I also want to acknowledge that the land that UW-Madison inhabits is the ancestral home of the Ho-Chunk Nation, one of the 12 First Nations of Wisconsin. Today, our stage includes the flags of the United States, the state of Wisconsin, and the Ho-Chunk Nation. These flags are symbols of our commitment These flags are symbols of our commitment to work towards the well-being of all the citizens of this state and the people of the nation and the world. It's an important first step in UW-Madison's Our Shared Future initiative, an ongoing effort to educate the campus and the broader community on the Ho-Chunk Nation and the history it shares with UW-Madison. At this time, it's my great honor to introduce to you the members of our official party, who are some of the people who make the university the remarkable place that it is. I'm going to ask each of you to rise as you're able when I call your name and to remain standing, and I'll ask the audience to please hold your applause until all members of the official party have been introduced. Chancellor Jennifer Mnookin. It's okay if you clap a little now and then. Grace Vanderhei, keynote speaker. Okay, now I'm going to have to pause for just a minute. So at Convocation last fall, in September, the incoming first-year students did do this thing where when I was introducing everybody up here, because there's always, should I clap when I say the CALS dean, the CALS people go and clap, all that. So what happened was, and this was, again, the 18-year-olds doing this, I'm just suggesting it to you, whenever I read a name, they would give one single really loud clap to recognize the awesome people behind me, right, in a non-competitive, inclusive, appreciative way. So I'm just inviting if you want to do that, okay? So let's try that again, right? We're going to do one clap with Grace Vanderhei, our keynote speaker. That was not part of the plan, but it was good too. Sarah Shute, Chief Alumni Engagement Officer and Executive Director of the Wisconsin Alumni Association. William Karpus, Dean of the Graduate School. Nita Ahuja, Dean of the School of Medicine and Public Health and Vice Chancellor for Medical Affairs. Glenda Gillespie, Dean of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Eric Wilcox, Dean of the College of Letters and Science. Marcel Haddix, Dean of the School of Education. Susan Zahner, Interim Dean of the School of Nursing. Jonathan Levine, Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine. Lori Reeser, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Jack Salzwedel, Universities of Wisconsin Board of Regents. Jiva Premkumar, our Class of 2025 speaker. Daniel Tokaji, Dean of the Law School. Devesh Ranjan, Dean of the College of Engineering. Vallabh Sambamurthy, Dean of the Wisconsin School of Business. Soyun Shim, Dean of the School of Human Ecology. Steve Swanson, Dean of the School of Pharmacy. Paul Robbins, Dean of the Nelson Institute for Environmental Studies. Christina Olstadt, Dean of Students. Scott Ovchadek, Interim Vice Provost of Enrollment Management. Craig Thompson, Vice Chancellor for University Relations. Diana Harvey, Vice Chancellor for Strategic Communication. Dorota Grainer-Brzezinska, Vice Chancellor for Research. Percival Matthews, Special Advisor for Access and Community. Okay, you're losing steam a little, folks. I gotta have it all the way through for my colleagues, okay? Erla Haynes, Dean of Libraries. Better. Francis Vavris, Dean and Vice Provost of the International Division. Jeff Russell, Dean of Continuing Studies and Vice Provost for Lifelong Learning. Annie Jones, Carl Martin, Dean of Extension. Sorry, Carl. Annie Jones, Professor and Chair of the University Committee, the Executive Committee of the Faculty Senate. Heather Daniels, Secretary of the Faculty. All right, thank you for playing along, and now one round of applause for these official party members. Colleagues, please be seated. It's now my great pleasure and honor to introduce Chancellor Jennifer L. Mnookin. Chancellor Mnookin is the 30th leader in the university's 177-year history and one of the top legal scholars in the U.S. She spent her academic career at public research universities, including UCLA and the University of Virginia, and now UW-Madison. She was also a visiting professor at Harvard Law School. She holds degrees from Harvard, Yale, and MIT. Chancellor tells us that there's lots of reasons she loves being at UW-Madison, including that as Chancellor she gets to have her own ice cream flavor. It's called Mnookin dough. It is delicious. It rivals chocolate peanut butter, but I don't want to, she's my boss, so I don't want to make any claims on that front. On a more serious note, our Chancellor has brought the university to new levels of excellence with expanded educational opportunities and research around significant, complex challenges affecting Wisconsin and the world. And her commitment to improving access to the university through Bucky's Pell Pathway and Bucky's Tuition Promise means that today, 2/3 of our undergraduates graduate with no student debt at all. During her tenure, the university has risen in the rankings to be number 12 among all public universities in the nation. Please join me now in welcoming Chancellor Jennifer Mnookin.
Thank you so much, Provost Sembrunnen, and good morning, everyone. Let everybody join me, please, in another huge round of applause for the amazing class of 2025. And now let's give a little more love and appreciation for all the people who helped you reach this day. That includes proud families and friends from across the country and all around the world, whether they're here in person or virtually. Thank you. And to the faculty and staff for the years of support, dedication, and occasional, or maybe not so occasional, constructive critique, all that they've given to bring the graduates to this moment. Let's give them a round of applause as well. Now, there's another group I especially want to thank. If you're here with us, either as a graduate or in the audience, as a Wisconsin resident and taxpayer, please stand up for a second if you're able. Come on, there's a lot of you here. Thank you. We are proud to be a public university, and the taxpayers of the great state of Wisconsin have helped support us for 177 years. Thank you for your investment in this state and UW-Madison. Make some noise. Now, this date is also bittersweet for those of you who are missing people whose love and support helped bring you to this place, including our beloved Dean Emerit, Linda Scott of the School of Nursing, who passed away just last month. I also want to acknowledge the terrible shooting at Brown University just yesterday, and in Australia. And so I do want us to take a moment just to recognize all of those whose lives we've lost too soon, even as we celebrate our graduates. Now, there are two groups of people here today for whom I would like to ask for special recognition. If you are graduating today and you're part of the first generation in your family to go to college or graduate school, please stand as you are able and let us all recognize you. Please stand up. We are so proud of you. Congratulations. Now, if you're a veteran or serving on active duty or in the reserves and here, whether you're in the audience with us or graduating today, all of you, if that fits you, if you've served our country in this way, please stand as you are able so we can thank you for your service. Thank you all. Now, graduates, you are entering into a world defined by uncertainty and change. We have lots of things happening. AI has come into the fore during your time here at UW-Madison. We're in a moment of some economic instability where there are political fractures, polarization, and the pace of change can be dizzying, sometimes even overwhelming. To be able to meet these kinds of challenges with confidence and curiosity, rather than fear and self-doubt, is an absolutely critical life skill. It's one that you'll need to keep working on, but it's also one for which I believe that we have prepared you. I don't have a plug-and-play formula to make coping with challenge and change any easier. But I will share with you this morning 2 stories from my own life about some of the things I have found helpful to navigating through disruption and change. And so I will briefly share them with you today. The first is about a connection to ideas, and the second is about a connection to people. Now, for me, one especially compelling idea I found came from a classic book that I first read as an undergraduate and then reread in graduate school, called The Structure of Scientific Revolutions by Thomas Kuhn. Maybe some of you even know it. For me, you know that mind-blown emoji? That's how this book hit me, maybe even more the second time I read it than the first. Kuhn was writing about science and about how our ideas about what's true and known about the natural world can change dramatically. He rejected the idea that scientific knowledge always progresses in a linear, orderly fashion. Instead, he thought we tended to have periods of what he called normal science, and then periods of sometimes uncomfortable disruption, what he called paradigm shifts, when a very different understanding could take hold. Like when the Ptolemaic idea that the Earth was at the center of all things got replaced by Copernicus's theory that the sun was actually the center of our solar system. Or when Einstein's theory of relativity came along. But there's a point here, I think, that goes well beyond science and scientific change. Kuhn wrote that the moment that we are forced to abandon our familiar models, the moment when the unpredictable and unexpected come crashing through and change everything we thought we know, can also be a moment when transformative change is possible. It's an invitation to start seeing something in an entirely new way. As he put it, and I quote, "It's as if you'd suddenly been transported to another planet where familiar objects are seen in a different light and are joined by unfamiliar ones as well." Maybe you've had that feeling at times when things seem unsettled and even chaotic. I think there's an insight here that goes way beyond the history of science. And it's one that I remind myself of, not infrequently, that in moments of challenge change, and even disruption, there can also be tremendous opportunity. Your career plans may change. You may discover that the skills you thought would be not super necessary turn out to be absolutely essential, and the ones that you thought would be essential may turn out to be not super necessary. You may discover that moving away is no longer in the cards right now, or that a move is exactly what needs to happen for what you are doing next. The point is to hold your assumptions a little bit lightly and to pay attention to the opportunities that the unexpected can sweep in. And while you're doing this, keep your family and friends close. They're the signal through the noise. And this brings me to my second story about connection to people. I'm here to tell you, as you probably already know, your life probably won't unfold in exactly the ways that you expect it to. There will be wonderful surprises along the way, joys and opportunities that you can't even quite imagine. And there will also almost certainly be disappointments and difficult moments. The relationships and friendships that you've made in your time here can be an important source of continued meaning in the years ahead and a source of comfort in the face of challenge. I graduated from college a long time ago, quite a long time ago, more than 35 years ago. And candidly, as I stand here before you, I can barely remember my own commencement ceremony. But some of the people I got to know then, some of my college friends, remain incredibly important in my life all these decades later. Here's a picture of two of my very best friends and roommates in college. I met one of them, Maya, in the very first week of freshman year, and the other, Judith, about a year later. Our lives now have gone in very different directions. We live thousands of miles apart. And over the decades, the frequency of our contact has ebbed and flowed. There were times, years even, when our lives got so busy and disjointed that we were barely in touch with each other at all. But we also realized that our core connection is unbreakable and important. And now, we take a trip together every year, spending at least a long weekend, catching up on our lives, connecting with each other, having new experiences, and making new memories. And I know that if at any moment I really needed something, they would be absolutely and unquestioningly there for me, and I for them. Friends don't prevent the storm from rolling in, but they can help anchor us through it. They comfort us, they challenge our assumptions, they offer fresh perspectives. They listen patiently to our sometimes not fully baked ideas, maybe over big orders of deep-fried cheese curds, or maybe during quiet walks along the lakeshore path at dusk, or maybe decades in the future in places you've never yet been. Our student speaker, Jiva Premkumar, has a story to share along these lines in just a few minutes. Now, some of you made those friends here right off the bat, and some of you may also discover deeper friendships when life brings you back together with Badgers you met here but didn't get to know as well. So my advice to you is hold on to these connections. And when they might ebb and flow over time and distance, remember that rekindling them and deepening them as time passes will enrich your lives. I hope that during your time with us at UW-Madison, you too have found an idea or two that you'll return to again and again. Ideas that will help you move through a world whose roads are sometimes straight and true and sometimes zig and zag. I hope that you've learned to see and embrace the new worlds of possibility that can emerge when the unexpected comes along and shuffles the deck. And I hope that you hold on to your deep connections with the people that you have laughed with, cried with, learned with here at UW-Madison, who will be there for you in whatever comes next, who will help remind you that when life feels like you've been suddenly transported to another planet where things may not look quite the way that you expected them to, that though it's scary, it's also a gift. It's your invitation to create something wonderfully new. For some of you, the next step in your journey will take you far from Madison. Others are going to stay right here. But rest assured that no matter how far you travel, Madison will always welcome you home, and you will forever share an identity as Badgers. And so, class of 2025, congratulations and on Wisconsin. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's now my great honor to introduce Regent Jack Salzwedel, speaking on behalf of the Universities of Wisconsin Board of Regents. Jack is the former Executive Board Chair and Chief Executive Officer of American Family Mutual Insurance Company, one of the largest and most highly regarded insurers in the nation. Under his leadership, American Family saw unprecedented growth, creating thousands of new jobs, quite a number of which he filled with our outstanding graduates. I first got to know Jack as a corporate leader with an incredibly strong dedication to investing in community. In so many ways, he made sure that American Family Insurance would have not just an immediate impact, but a lasting impact that would truly matter to people's lives. He brings that same energy and vision, along with a deep commitment to the Wisconsin idea, to his service on the Board of Regents. Like many of us, Jack has a favorite spot on this campus. And in his case, it's a very specific one, the south end zone of Camp Randall Stadium, where he's been cheering on the Badgers since he was 10 years old. That entrance now bears the American Family name. As he puts it, there might be better seats for a game, but none better for him. For all he's done and continues to do in service to our community and our great university, please join me in a very warm welcome for Regent Jack Salzwedel.
Well, I didn't know that we were going to be talking about the south end zone at Camp Randall this morning, but I'm very happy about that, so thank you. Aren't we lucky to have Chancellor Mnookin at University of Wisconsin-Madison? Let's give her a round of applause. Well, good afternoon, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. And on behalf of the Board of Regents of the Universities of Wisconsin, I'm excited and honored to be with you each today. This is a big day, a very big day, where we all get to celebrate your remarkable achievements. December graduates are an interesting group here in Madison. It's pretty unlikely that you came to UW a number of years ago planning to graduate in December. Some of you maybe took a little more time to reach this milestone because you did internships and studied abroad, and some of you may have took a little less time because you were laser focused on completing your degree. And to all the graduates at UW-Madison, you've done it. And what do I say when I say you've done it? What do I really mean about that? Well, you've completed degree requirements from one of the top institutions in the entire world. And you are now about to be one of the more than 500,000 living alumni who call this place your alma mater. You've celebrated the end of a semester or exams by enjoying time on the Union Terrace. You've jumped around inside Camp Randall. You've sung varsity in the field house, the Kohl Center, and who knows where else. And you've climbed Bascom Hill, that wonderful hill. And now that you've done it for several years, maybe you don't even need to catch your breath anymore. Who am I fooling? You still need to catch your breath, right? You've built lasting friendships and memories that will take you far beyond this campus for a long time. There's a real beauty in the college experience that you've enjoyed, and I'd also contend that you've all accomplished a lot academically. Many of you started your academic journey here on the heels of the pandemic, and you're closing this part of the journey in a world that has changed dramatically from when you started. And I won't pretend standing here that you're entering a world and stepping into it without challenges in our world. Scroll through any news feed that you see and you'll quickly realize that the job market today isn't what it was coming out of the pandemic. And it isn't what it was even a year ago. You'll see stories of companies that are downsizing, reducing workforce, or projecting slowed hiring, especially in entry-level positions. And that's all true. But here's what else is true. And I say this as someone who's had the honor and privilege of leading a Fortune 200 company and organization, someone who's helped to hire tens of thousands of employees over a more than 20-year period in an executive role. I can tell you firsthand that your ability to pivot, to lean into what you've learned both inside and outside the classroom, is what will set you apart. The experience you've had are absolutely second to none. As I said, I've hired many people from all the elite universities around the United States, and while many of those people were immensely talented in many, many ways, I've found that some of the most well-rounded and exceptional people that I've worked with and promoted have come from the University of Wisconsin system, and in particular, the University of Wisconsin-Madison. When you graduate from a school like UW-Madison, you've developed a certain mindset that's unique, a work ethic, a flexibility that employers value deeply. You've embraced the Wisconsin idea. You've personalized it. You're a collaborator, a good teammate, a good coworker. You have integrity and a work ethic that is second to none, and that counts for something. As you move into the next phase of life, remember that your voice matters in your workplace, your community, and in society at large. Please don't wait for permission to make a difference. In a world full of unknowns and uncertainty, challenge the status quo and lift others as you climb. You've done it, now go do it. Go shape the future, not just for yourselves, but for all of us. Congratulations, class of 2025.
I'm now pleased and honored to introduce our keynote speaker for this morning, Grace Vanderhei. In 2022, Grace became the first nuclear engineer ever to hold the title of Miss America. It strikes me that success in what seem to be two widely varying areas is a very, very UW-Madison thing. Grace grew up in Wausau. She didn't plan on becoming a nuclear engineer when she arrived at UW-Madison, but after she found her way to our nuclear fusion lab, studied with great faculty mentors, and interned with the nation's largest producer of clean energy, she was hooked. In her year as Miss America, Grace channeled the Wisconsin idea, traveling about 270,000 miles, the equivalent of traveling more than 10 times around the globe, drawing on her UW-Madison education to help school kids, policymakers, civic groups, and others understand the promise of clean energy and the importance of nuclear science to healthcare. She's now a nuclear fuels engineer working on refueling and recommissioning nuclear power plants. When we announced her as our keynote speaker, a few people, including Grace herself, asked, why would you invite a 23-year-old to give this important address? You won't be wondering that 10 minutes from now. I'm pleased to introduce Grace.
I will get to answering that question, but first, I'd like to thank Chancellor Jennifer Mnookin and the senior class officers of the class of 2025 for inviting me to speak. Honestly, I did have to check with my department chair that I wasn't the backup to the backup to the backup option for the commencement speaker, because why would you ask a 23-year-old to come back and be the commencement speaker? It feels strange having the spotlight back on me. I briefly considered beginning this speech, reaching for something profound, like take a second and look around. You're sitting among the people who will shape your memories, your opportunities, and your future stories. Years from now, you won't remember my speech, but you will remember this feeling. If that statement sounds like a load of bull, guess what? It is. Because that is the statement that ChatGPT helpfully provided me, complete with a list of 3 items and an M-dash. It's irritating to think that even Gen AI was quick to assume a commencement address is almost always forgettable. I look at that and I use my Wisconsin background, and I think, really, ChatGPT? Challenge accepted. So I've had the chance to check other commencement speeches and found that many begin by reminiscing on their momentous decision to attend UW-Madison. Mine wasn't so momentous, but somehow I had the insight to know that Madison was a much better choice than Minnesota, and I'm still proud of that call. Now, my actual student experience seems too recent to reminisce. After all, it was only 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure I have a former roommate sitting in this audience right now. Of course, I stand here proud to be a Badger, and proud to have spent 4.5 years at UW. Sure, I received an education, but I spent my first year crammed into a triple with 2 random roommates in Smith. We braved the walk to Gordon's every day for food, even in the coldest weather. I remember finding as much free pizza as I could across campus and signing up for dozens of student orgs mailing lists just so I could find that free food. I remember the feeling of the first time I walked into Van Vleck and thinking, I want to spend as little time here as possible. I remember the final I had on a Sunday morning at 7:45 a.m. and contemplating if I could just skip it. Luckily, I did not. I remember religiously buying a grilled cheese every Thursday from Scotty's. I spent some weekends in the middle of a cornfield with the water ski team. I proved I could pound a full Mickey's Scrambler. And I continue to find it funny to say, let's go to the library, after a struggle through a thermodynamics exam. Engineering majors, you get me, right? Now, there's a couple here, glad to hear it. I swam in Lake Mendota and Monona. I contemplated taking CLAP for credit, but ended up not, and I regret it to this day. Now, I couldn't have done any of this if I had went to Minnesota. Now, most of all, what I remember from my experience at UW-Madison is the people, ranging from the professors who were willing to let me work on my senior design project from an airplane while traveling the world as Miss America, all the way to my friends' parents. I'm looking at all of you in this up in the risers, all the way to my friends' parents who would deliver our college house food during finals weeks. I remember the laughter, the tears, the quiet corners of Helen C. White, and the feeling of the stadium shaking during jump around. But mostly, I remember the people from my time. I stand here as a proud Badger who could never have imagined that what those 4.5 years held for me, and for what those years would prepare me for next. Believe me, Miss America was not in the 5-year plan. Heck, I never even planned on becoming a nuclear engineer prior to college. I did it because my dad told me not to, and I was a spiteful 16-year-old girl that said, watch me. That's how it started. Well, Dad, here I am. I may have started this out of spite, but here's where I ended up. It's nice to be back in the place that launched me, and I'll admit, I've lived a crazy string of events since the last time I was here. Miss America 2023, Forbes 30 Under 30 list for energy. I was named the new face of nuclear energy by the Wall Street Journal. I'm even writing my own book. That sounds so adult. Ugh. And I'm helping to design nuclear fuel for the nation's largest fleet of nuclear power plants. It probably sounds like a fairy tale. It sure didn't start out feeling very magical. When I came here at age 17, I didn't have the slightest clue where I was going or whether I was even headed in the right direction. As you look towards your own next chapter, it's okay to feel nervous. I did then, and I still do today, like right now, in fact. You might not be taking the next step towards your own big dream, but you'll figure it out. You'll make your own memories, tackle your own challenges, and you'll have a new dream, possibly a better one even. You might be starting something out of spite, and honestly, that's a perfectly valid reason. In a world where social media romanticizes every decision and every action that we make, it's okay to just live life. You don't need a poetic reason or a fairy tale beginning, but you can make the experience the dream you want to build. Take a look around at what resources you do have and move forward. Make your own fairy tale. This is where I will do the best I can to incite inspiration and share what wisdom I have gained. It's been 2 years since I sat in your seats. I barely understand taxes and healthcare. How am I supposed to give you wisdom? I've never survived in the wilderness against insurmountable odds. I wore a sparkly hat and got an entry-level job after I graduated. However, I have had a few groups of people listen to what I have to say, and it now has given me an inflated ego and a distorted sense of self-importance. Therefore, at the ripe age of 23.7 years old, maybe the best I can do is I will tell you the things not to do in the next few years of your life. The first thing not to do is do not take the state of Wisconsin for granted. Specifically, do not ignore the importance of cheese curds, spotted cow, Milwaukee dill pickles, real cheddar cheese, Quick Trip with a K, and Friday fish fries. Ever since moving to the tropical location of Delaware, these are all I can think of, and I will be stocking up on these things. I specifically drove back to Wisconsin for this so I could ensure that no TSA agent can confiscate my 40 pounds of cheddar when I drive back. Now, the second thing not to do is don't focus on one thing too much. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that life is broader than a single goal. When you concentrate all your energy on one pursuit, whether it's just one job, accomplishment, or identity, you are risking shrinking your world to a single outcome. The moment that outcome shifts, stalls, or disappears, everything feels like it collapses with it. A healthy life needs multiple dimensions: relationships, curiosity, rest, creativity, community, and growth. Having a broad focus builds resilience because you're supported from many directions, not just one. The third thing, and maybe one of the most important, is do not care what others think. Do what you love, fiercely. In a world where trends change in a span of literally hours, why should we bother with trying to keep up and force ourselves to fit in? Why should we want to conform to the society we have and reach success by pretending to be someone we're not? You can reach whatever end goal you have by being yourself at the end of the day. Now, it probably sounds odd to you to have a former Miss America telling you not to care what others think. I mean, Miss America is literally a competition for what some arbitrary judges think makes someone worthy of a sparkly crown and a title. I wish this was a metaphor, but that is literally it, a competition that judges women for who they are and what they do in their pastimes. It's safe to say there were not many nuclear engineers who had competed for Miss America previously, but all it takes is one person to be the first. I strongly believed that if I was going to be selected as Miss America, it would be as nerdy, quirky, weird nuclear engineer Grace, not the red carpet ready and dazzling world peace version of Grace, the real version. I wish I could say I was ecstatic during that crowning moment when I had finally achieved becoming Miss America. But honestly, I was horribly scared. I thought to myself, this is either going to make my career or break it. Who is going to hire a nuclear engineer known for wearing a crown and a sash? Will something about this title mean that I end up with even less credibility? I worried about that for a while. But I also thought, is there some way that I can leverage this opportunity as a way to forge my own path and get my own message out there to more people? What if the crown and the sash can open doors and get me to a podium where I can talk about the ideas that I'm really passionate about, like the ongoing and urgent need for reliable, safe, and clean energy? When I look back on that year, I know I did that year as 100% Grace. Not as some forced personality representing some brand with approved scripts, but as the force of a person that I know myself to be. And that is something I am proud of. The fourth thing not to do is do not close yourself off from opportunities. I never thought I would ever write a book. In fact, when I was first asked to write a book a couple of years ago, I fiercely declined and closed myself off from that opportunity. Why would I want to air all of my dirty secrets to the world? Why would I want to share with the world the perfect plan to finally steal one of the terrace chairs? Item 4.5 is do not steal a terrace chair, get a job, and then buy one like a legal, law-abiding citizen, okay? But ultimately, I had someone approach me again if I wanted to write a book. Rather than immediately shutting it down, I had the conversation. This pushed me to realize I do have something to say. In this world that we live in, I want to share with the world that a disgusting amount of optimism is not something to be afraid of. Having hope that the world will get better is worth it, and you can have that hope too. I never thought I'd have the opportunity to write a book, but man, am I learning a lot about myself, just from forcing myself to make sense of who I am in writing. Now, the fifth thing is do not complete the task or assignment if there is a conversation that should be had first. One of the best pieces of advice I'd ever gotten was that a task, a homework assignment, or any other thing can be done at any point in time. But an opportunity for an important conversation can be fleeting. You may never be in that moment again and have those emotions again. Always take the time to have the conversation, whether it's with a new person or someone you know and trust. Thing number 6, because yes, these are things, I'm a nuclear engineer, not a communications specialist. Thing number 6 is do not underestimate yourself. This is likely the hardest item on this list. Oftentimes, when we're worried about trying something new, or we're scared to make new friends in a city, we're stuck in a mentality of waiting to be given permission to do something. Why can't we give ourselves permission? You got here. You made this happen. When somebody asks you to be the commencement speaker at age 23, yes, be in shock a little bit, but do not underestimate yourself and your capabilities. I did not limit myself to being just a nuclear engineer, or just a Miss America, or just a violinist, or just a water skier. I've been all of these things, but I've also been a whole lot more than that. So don't let others label you or define you or limit you. You are about to test the limits of what you are capable of. You're about to be really on your own, making your own good things happen. If you're moving to a new city, you might soon realize how incredibly hard it is to make new friends in a new town where you aren't in a college environment anymore. By the way, nobody talks about that, how hard it is to make friends in a completely new city when you know absolutely nobody. Remember this, it was hard even for me, and I'll talk to just about anybody. You know, everybody just walks by looking at me like, who the heck does she think she is, Miss America? Now, the best thing I did to make friends was get a dog. Everybody wants to pet a puppy, and then they're forced to talk to you. So maybe number 7 is don't try to live your life without a dog, because they'll love you unconditionally. Just carry treats, to be sure. Now, others around you will test your limits. We live in a society that prioritizes me, not so much us. We focus on self-care. We stay in when we need to, but of course, that cuts us off, too. We spend our days being fed our passions and cares directly by the algorithms. We are always surrounded by our needs, and frequently that means even our bad ideas can be self-reinforcing. It's important to try to break out of your own little bubble. When someone around you chooses you to spend time with, to have that conversation with, to have that FaceTime for the first time in 12 months since graduation, pick up. Even if it seems tiring, even if it might not always seem right. We live in a world where everybody wants a village, but nobody wants to be a villager. I urge all of you today to show up not just for yourself, but for the people you care about too. Do not underestimate your ability to accomplish incredible things. And do not underestimate your ability to show up for people, including yourself. When I think back to sitting at graduation, I remember the feeling of being a little bit scared for what's next, for the change that was about to happen. I wasn't sure if my dreams and ambitions would come true. Some dreams might not. After all, some dreams might just be a really bad idea anyways. But new ones will take its place. Keep those opportunities open. Embrace change. Find comfort in discomfort. I stopped caring what others think of me, and all of a sudden the discomfort I found in a changing environment became the comfort I found in the woman I am today. You're about to have a lot of unknowns coming your way. How exciting. Be the version of yourself that only you can be. If you meet the world with authenticity and a disgusting amount of optimism in chasing your dreams, there is no limit to the good you can create. Thank you. Thank you, Chancellor. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Grace, for your remarks. Let's give Grace one more round of applause. Now at this time, it's my great pleasure to say that we're going to begin conferring our degrees. We're going to start with our doctoral, law, and medical professional degrees. I now call upon William Karpus, Dean of the Graduate School.
Candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Musical Arts will please rise as they are able. Chancellor Mnookin.
Dean Karpus.
These scholars have devoted significant time to graduate study and research. In addition, they have defended theses or presented exhibitions that have been accepted by faculty committees as substantial contributions signifying scholarly or professional achievement in their respective fields. They are presented for the highest academic recognition in their fields given by the university, the degrees Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Musical Arts.
Excellent. We'll tell you when it's time to actually move forward. First, we recognize you, and in a few minutes, you'll get to come to the stage. On the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin's System Board of Regents, you will receive the degree of Doctor of Philosophy or Doctor of Musical Arts. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Candidates will please be seated. I now call upon Daniel Takagi, Dean of the Law School.
Candidates for the degrees Doctor of Law, Juris Doctor, and Master of Laws, please rise as you are able. Chancellor Mnookin.
Dean Takagi.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the courses in law. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the University of Wisconsin Law School, I proudly present these candidates for their degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the law school and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin's System Board of Regents, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Law, Juris Doctor, or Master of Laws. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Candidates can please be seated. I now call upon Nita Ahuja, Dean of the School of Medicine and Public Health.
Candidates for the degrees Doctor of Medicine, Master of Physician Assistant Studies, and Master of Public Health will please rise as they're able. Chancellor Mnookin.
Dean Ahuja.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the courses of study in medicine, Physician Assistant Studies, or Public Health. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine and Public Health, I present these candidates for degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine and Public Health, and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin's System Board of Regents, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Medicine, Master of Physician Assistant Studies, or Master of Public Health. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Candidates can please be seated. Now please join me in another rousing round of applause in recognition of all our doctoral, law, and medical professional degree candidates. Now, all of these candidates will cross the stage, have their name read, and receive their diploma folder. Graduates, please remain seated until the marshals instruct you to proceed to the platform.
PhD, DMA, MFA, Yi-Shin Wong, Emily Tran, Michael Aguilar, John Timothy Stellmacher, Nikan Kopi Abiyazane, Sudarshan Kannan, Rodney Barron Link, Dharani Suresh Babu, Alicia Rabi, Rojase Karun, Mary M. Christensen, D. Nigel Green, Tahir Suleiman Abdimawala, Angelica Usuri, Jacob Nathaniel Wenner, Dylan Tague, Priscilla Tovar Perez, Alexa DiNicola, Brandon Dave Corder, Alex Pfister, Nayana Marie Mercado Soto, Grant Robert Nichols, Ashley Ann Hebing, Emily Page Greenwald, Samitha Sumanthri Senanyanke, Haley Whitson, Sheena Chu, Oh-Yun Kwan, Jenna Hatcher Green, Noah Cohen Cullifut, Benjamin David Harding, Michelle Choi, Lauren Emma Sarko, Chelsea A. Volpino, Megan Marie Braun, Liam Frank Wood, Jeffrey Richard Becker, Sean Kekoa Nemitz, Jie Tong, Paul Lenharth, Deepak Saron Jigon, Wei Kang Jian, Dan Tan Huynh, Daniela Mia Campos Ugas, Rebecca Marie Roas, Grace Olivia Capek, Max Fuller, Jessica Magri, Alvir Sangha, Jennifer Anderson, Allison Caudle, Cecilia M. Chialo, Ming Yi Wei, Ji Hao Fan, Sabrina Sanchez, Fujiang Ji, Peihan Shu, Ahaid Chang, Mackenzie Leanne Boyce, Jake Hermanson, Matthew Wilgate, Matthias Pupo, Fiona Louise Guinan, Megan Backelbach, Mariah Colleberg, Sean Baker, Madison Bandini, Alexander Edward Buruk, Akere Terrestrial, Drew Narayan, Labib Abrar Shahid, Kashahi Block Piri, Catherine Anastasia Hubert, Yu Chin Lee, Stuart Alexander Fogarty, Nan Jiang, Wan Ting Wei, Carissa Roper, Tessa Huldis, Elizabeth Christine Bramer, Anna Lynn Gregory, Dandi Chun, Mia Katie, Jitian Zhao, Chenghui Li, Kara Cantelli, Jiahui Liang, Hong Zhang, Yao Chi Yin, School of Medicine and Public Health, Ana Maria Jimenez Diaz, Law School, Jill Marie Patzner, Neda Esasora, Maria de Silva Albuquerque, Alex James Parmar, Abdullah Fahad Al-Habishan, Shokahabos Kolmuratov, Shokrak Golamov, Nicholas Nana Ya Ofori, Cornelius Yeriko Langkong, Carissa Delane Lawrence, Stephen Stephanie Jotarin, Daniel Jacob Lovin,
Last round of applause for our doctoral law and medical degree candidates. Congratulations. Now I again call on William Karpus, Dean of the Graduate School, who will present the candidates for master's degrees.
Candidates for the following master's degrees will please rise as they are able. Master of Accountancy, Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Master of Engineering, Master of International Public Affairs, Master of Music, Master of Public Affairs, Master of Science, Master of Social Work. Chancellor Mnookin.
Dean Karpus.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the course of study for master's degrees. On the recommendation of the graduate faculty, I present these candidates for the master's degrees in their respective fields.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the Graduate School and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, you will be admitted to the appropriate master's degree and in testimony thereof will receive your diploma. Join me in a round of applause for all of our master's degree candidates. Now, candidates, please be seated until the marshals instruct you to proceed to the platform.
Eric Hamilton, Abdallah Al-Athi, Arthurva Fudness, Beverly Hutcherson, Abby Schweiner, Gabby Mariel Munoz Sanchez, Jinghao Zhu, Daniel Moraldo, Wyatt Seth Brewers, Andre Reynero Figueroa Kilgore, Katie Nicole Lawrence, Jack Ostapek, Jungmin Choi, Chan Mai, Thate Yi So, Bradley Berend, Yuswan Chow, Ajinkya Gajbie, Jason Ranjit Joseph Rajasekar, Heng Zhang, Yuchen Huang, Roche Wang, Erin Michelle Rice, Alexa Ann Rodemacher, Jacob J. Sigmund, Brandon LaVale Lane Jr., Ihan Huang, Ishmael Abdul Jallo, Yuan Chi Chen, Junpan Wu, Stephen Ding, Ziri Bai, Yi Chao Chung, Shanhong Yu, Danielle Kiana Langseth, Eric Charles Kostelik, Molly Swope, Anders V. Vilwalk, Greta Giselle Butterbort, Joseph Peter Bestie, Miles Del Real, Eddie Hernandez, Pu Hong Wei, Hung Tian Ma, Yifan He, Dharmiki Patel, Laurel Del Cartier Heaton, Jishan Lee, Kyohen Huang, Jessica D. Tenchon, Peishuan Shu, Miao Yu, Sadaf Ahmad Nasir, Li Wen Zhang, Ho Wang, Tianghi Jia, Rawan Hinsman, Hannah Leary Cunnelvluck, David Jolly, Christopher Jansen, Jake Murray, Xiaolei Lin, Andy Cao Vo, Chloe Lau, Lauren Elise Corey, Nicole Friedel, Christine Lin, Tracy Kristen Hay, Huda Ahmed, Diane Abaye, Mackenzie Joe Gingras, Jixing Liu, Gretchen Webb, Max Culbertson, Neil Patel, Caleb James Redeman, Charlie Piehart, Rex Alfred Boyce, Ty Slagle, Bart Willem Munns, Daniel Thomas Bixby Sykes, Maria Rodriguez, Anna Dunn, J. Patrick Coonan, Jason Michael Becker, Claire Garbett, Sarah B. Kitzinger Anton, Carly Jean Tart, Molly Nelson, Anna Catherine Tuttle Harry, Yi Shen, Yi Yang Liu, Grace Cron, Kevin Michael Bursaw, Jennifer Vina Levesque, Ben Caker, Nathan Brelsford, Kara Perviance, Rebecca Ann Lemke, Jennifer Bine, Dawn Dory Liska Tollefson, Kirsten L. Haig, Bryn Coleman, Sasha Ashley Casper, Anna E. Moritz, Barbara Lee Simpson, Alex Parker, Charles Cotula, Laura Kelscher, Amber Pardo, Ebony Rose, Andre Small, Kalila de Oliveira Bassanetti, Sudita Ganguly, Ardaj Basu, Jingwei Zhang, Daniel Wise, Haven Troy, Mary Teresa Shampo, Doris Kathambi Mbaka, Torin Young, Ania Jackman, Michaela Miller, Nayanal Gathruk Raik, Emily Holt, Alina Streeter, Catherine Lee Harding, Leah Bites, Hari Rue, Nicholas Rich, Chase Robert Monkmeyer, Elizabeth Margaret Malley, Taylor Brendanmuir, Abilee Marie Mader, Meng Ying Wang, Lisa Seward, Andre Aguiar Zambon, Robert Cuvée Davis II, Allison Grace Harrigan Mills, Susan Ya, Lily Tran, Fei Yuan Liu, Yu Qing Yen, Han Lu Liu, Kong Shu Wang, Chao Chao Wang, Dorcas Donker, Salsbila Mahdi, Anna Maria Apostolopou, Logan Mark Hansen, Jack Qualley, Allison Swahula, Giovanna Javonoska, Brian Goodman, Ziyang Chen, Nick Edwards, Caleb Troyer, Carter Kreft, Sahitha Lokhana Karipitia, Michael James Jenrick, Sagar Manjunath, Jiyu Chi, Silpa Panda, Zami Chana Padarachabam, Jesus Andres Anchondo Regalado, Aliyah Priamad Sangado, Ben Hayam, Esther Lonstein, Elizabeth Estelle Stay, Julia Kettner, Naga Sai Krishna Venaswamy Kapakayala, Sai Amaranath Inkolu, Ajay Govind Kohli, Donald Penn Vaughn, Nikki Allison Peters, Adili Adila, David Vanderhei, Ashish Piridarshi, Vince Christensen, Long Trin, Sierra Marie Sorensen, Buhar Metmeti, Abby Schaefer, Marcus Thielen, Spencer Velsky, Sarah Jean Sigoniak, Amanda Fawcett, Maeve Kinderman, Oscar Contreras, Erica Hilliard, Terkessa Hayes, Johnny K. Kennedy, Craig Courtney, Mallory Aaron Franskak, Ivy First, Ryan Christopher Lanphier, Wilson Seeley, Kara Richardson, Mason Reiger, Tianqing Xiong, Fernando Gonzalez Bandala, Sangil Cho, Samantha Denise Patlan, Mariana Michelle Bruno, Maddie Harford, Zisheng Liu, Connor Welch, Diana Thomas, Hakeem Huang Ha, Nicolo Colucci, Jack Torbison Wagner, Maria Gama, Nicholas Pousseter, Zach Braun, Michael Deloc, Hao Yu, Hao Ye Duan, Yafei Young, Dakota Allen Wakely, Nathan Daniel Peer, Eric Michael Schwert, Jesse Barron, Nicholas Mackison, Brianna Carlino, Tom Dare, Sean Gill, Lindsay Coughlin, Alana Monson, Andrew McBride, Isabel Tolinar, Cheryl Chi-Yu Chong, Yi J. Chu, Ziyi Meng, Zach Wright, Danielle Chaston, Grace Jerabek Cassidy, Kritika Mahajan, Nermeen M. Saleb, Yu Fan, Tenzin Kudran, Leah Blasiak, Yue Zhang, Shanheng Gu, Faro Isakonov, Namgi Hong, Daniel James Smedema, Kuna Tian, Dachuan Quay, Matthew Bielo, Elizabeth Grace Kaisala, Ellie Christina Johnson, Feng Wei Li, Sarah Laura Gill, Jonathan Tim, Botao Chen, Yilun Wu, Jinheng Yang, Haowei Gi, Madeline Grace Johnson, Elise Piradashini, Jeffrey Kent Weisinger, Benjamin Reynolds Witter, Xiao Ben, Chung Yen Sui, Dao Chung Shu, Yin Feng Zhao, Michael Liu, Shrimam Karthik, Ji Hao Hong, Zheng Mao Zolin, Shan Zhang, Hanan Nayar Ahmed, Yuan Pei Zheng, Harshitha Balanskula, Arekna Shetty, Amandeepa Rakesh Jian, Jinru Wen, Wei Jian Ni, Jiwei Song, Bahare Sazvar, Wogun Kim, Renad Ali Al-Hassani.
You beat me to it. I was going to ask you to give one last round of applause for our master's degree candidates, so let's do it. One more round of applause. Our student speaker today came to UW-Madison from the other side of the globe because he'd heard he could get a top-flight engineering education here. He ended up having a very Wisconsin experience by working at a dairy products company in Wausau. So we have a second speaker today, along with Grace, with a Wausau connection and who's an engineer. So today's theme is the future, Wausau's role in the future of engineering, which you probably didn't expect. Jiva Premkumar is from the Democratic Republic of Congo. In his time here, he did research in one of our stem cell labs, interned with a major biotech company, and landed a Wisconsin Idea Fellowship to work with a nonprofit in Africa to help more children living through the Congo's escalating civil war to attend school. And today, he's our class of 2025 student speaker. Help me welcome Jiva.
Thank you, Provost, for that kind introduction. And thank you to the senior class officers for this surreal honor of speaking on behalf of the class of 2025. And to our families, the professors, and the people who kept us caffeinated through finals week, thank you. My name is Jiva Premkumar, and my journey to the University of Wisconsin-Madison has been anything but typical. I was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo, grew up in Kenya, and finished high school in India. 3 places that are all, I should note, much closer to the equator than Wisconsin. When I first Googled University of Wisconsin-Madison, I saw smiling students, sunshine by Lake Mendota, and people wearing light jackets. Yeah, those are lies. Absolute lies. I landed here in August, and by December, I learned that the wind chill isn't just a suggestion, it's a personality test. I learned that people here say, there's no bad clothing. There's no bad weather, sorry. Only bad clothing. And after week 1, I was like, nope, there's definitely bad weather. And I learned that only people who have lived in Madison can properly pronounce the word isthmus without stopping halfway to think about it. When I first arrived, I wasn't sure I belonged. I didn't know anyone. I worried about my accent, my background, and whether I'd fit in a place where people constantly debate the correct way to pronounce the word bag. Or is it bag? But it didn't take too long before this place started to feel like home. And then one day, a few of my friends convinced me to do something completely absurd. Jump into Lake Mendota in the winter. I thought, okay, this is how it ends for me. On the evening news, international student frozen mid-scream. But I did it, and it was horrible. It was cold enough to make you forget your GPA, and yet it was also perfect. Because the second I came up from that water, shivering and laughing with everyone around me, I realized something. That's college. You jump in not because it's comfortable, but because you know you'll come back up changed. Now, that single ridiculous moment taught me what UW has been teaching us all along, that growth lives right on the edge of discomfort. I came here unsure if I could handle the academics, the weather, or being 7,200 miles away from home. But somewhere between long nights in engineering hall, volunteering with the Mortgage Center, and working with student government, I realized something bigger. Every time I said yes to the leadership role I didn't feel ready for, to a class I thought I'd fail, to another jump into something new, I got better at being me. So if there's one thought I want to leave you with today, it's this. Seek the jump. Seek the thing that scares you, because you won't find confidence by waiting for certainty. You'll find it by leaping first and learning that you can swim. And if Madison has taught us anything, between walking up Bascom Hill in -10 wind chill and surviving those group projects, it's that we are more capable than we think. So wherever you end up, whether in labs, startups, classrooms, or somewhere you haven't imagined yet, seek the jump. You might come up shivering, but you'll come up stronger. So class of 2025, jump in. And of course, jump around. I had to sneak that in there somehow. Congratulations, fellow Badgers. From the Congo to Kenya to India to Wisconsin, thank you for making this place feel like home. Merci beaucoup, asante, rombo nendri, and thank you. On Wisconsin.
Thank you so much, Jiva. One more round of applause. That was awesome. As the Chief Alumni Engagement Officer for the Wisconsin Foundation and Alumni Association, Sarah Schutz's job is to build affinity, pride, and community among the global network of UW alums. She spent most of her 33-year career in higher education at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, from UW Housing to the School of Education, the Division of Continuing Studies, and since 2010, the Wisconsin Alumni Association. Sarah earned degrees from the University of Iowa and Minnesota Mankato, but she's a proud Badger now, and won't you join me in welcoming her?
Thank you, Provost. Hello, Badgers. So happy to be here. And today is the day when we can officially welcome all of you to alumnihood as graduates of the University of Wisconsin. This is a special community that you're joining, and I'm not just saying that because I'm the executive director. The Wisconsin Alumni Network is more than 500,000 strong. From Rome, Wisconsin to Rome, Italy, you'll find alumni in all 72 counties in Wisconsin, all 50 states, all U.S. territories, and in 200 countries around the world. UW grads are dairy farmers, Hollywood directors, Nobel Prize winners, and NCAA champions, artists and activists, engineers, and educators, and not to mention Miss America. As impressive as UW alumni are individually, together the Badger community is a force with pride and passion that is unmatched. Our job at the Wisconsin Alumni Association is to help you stay connected to the alumni community wherever your journey takes you and when you're getting ready to jump in. We are here for you when you want to tap into the best of being a Badger, whether you're right here in Madison or in cities around the nation. We provide opportunities to network, to share stories, to advocate, to cheer on our teams, and we are so excited for you to join us. The Wisconsin Alumni Association is where all Badgers belong. And to help keep your UW connection strong, our gift to you is a complimentary 2-year membership with WAA. So be on the lookout for a couple of emails over the next few days, which will enable you to access your membership and all the benefits that go with it. And then in the coming weeks, you'll also receive an alumni pin, which we hope you wear with pride. You've earned it. I'm so pleased to welcome you to alumnihood. Please stay in touch. Congratulations again, and on Wisconsin.
Thank you, Sarah, for welcoming all these new Badgers into alumnihood. At this point in the program, I am pleased to acknowledge those bachelor's degree candidates who have distinguished themselves scholastically by ranking in the top 20% of their school or college, or by participating in the honors program. These graduates are attired with honors stoles, solid cardinal red or white with red chevrons. If you're wearing one of those stoles that marks you as one of these distinguished graduates, I'll ask you to rise if you are able. Yes, let's congratulate all of them on their achievements. Graduates may be seated.
So in just a minute, we're going to confer our bachelor's degrees. But before we do that, I've got one thing to say. Some of you are wondering, you've been hearing about jumping into freezing lakes, you've been hearing about doing hard things. I want to congratulate you on graduating during one of the coldest commencements in the history of the University of Wisconsin. Something else to be very proud of. You can do hard things even on cold days, and I say this as somebody who spent 17 years in California. So congratulations to all of you as we now turn to confer the bachelor's degrees. First, I'm going to call on Glenda Gillespie, Dean of the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences.
Candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences will please rise as they are able. Chancellor Mnookin.
Dean Gillespie.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Biological Systems Engineering, and Bachelor of Science, Nutrition and Dietetics. Candidates will please remain standing.
I now call on Devesh Ranjan, Dean of the College of Engineering. Now, before he begins, I need to say this is a special day for him. 18 years ago, he was a December graduate getting his PhD here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And so today he comes full circle. Congratulations, Devesh.
Candidates for the bachelor's degree in the great College of Engineering, where lives are transformed, including mine, will please rise as they are able. Chancellor Mnookin.
Dean Ranjan.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Engineering, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Naval Science, Bachelor of Science Biomedical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Chemical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Science Computer Engineering, Bachelor of Science Electrical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Engineering Physics, Bachelor of Science Engineering Mechanics, Bachelor of Science Environmental Engineering, Bachelor of Science Geological Engineering, Bachelor of Science Industrial Engineering, Bachelor of Science Material Science and Engineering, Bachelor of Science Mechanical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Nuclear Engineering. Candidates will please remain standing.
I now call on Eric Wilcox, Dean of our largest college, the College of Letters and Science.
Candidates for bachelor's degrees in the College of Letters and Science will please rise as they are able. Chancellor Mnookin.
Dean Wilcox.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Letters and Science, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Arts Journalism, Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, Bachelor of Liberal Studies, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science Applied Mathematics, Engineering, and Physics, Bachelor of Science Journalism, Bachelor of Social Work. Candidates will please remain standing.
I now call upon Vallabh Sambamurthy, Dean of the School of Business.
Candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Wisconsin School of Business, celebrating its 125th anniversary, will please rise as they are able. Chancellor Mnookin.
Dean Sambamurthy.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the Wisconsin School of Business, I present these candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration. Candidates will please remain standing.
I now call upon Marcel Haddix, Dean of the School of Education.
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the #1 School of Education please rise as they are able? Chancellor Mnookin.
Dean Haddix.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Education, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science of Art, Bachelor of Science Art Education, Bachelor of Science Dance, Bachelor of Science Education, Bachelor of Science Educational Policy Studies, Bachelor of Science Health Promotion and Health Equity, Bachelor of Science Kinesiology, Bachelor of Science, Physical Education, Bachelor of Science, Rehabilitation Psychology, Bachelor of Science, Theater and Drama. Candidates will please remain standing.
I now call upon Soyen Shim, Dean of the School of Human Ecology.
Candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the one and only the coolest School of Human Ecology will please rise if you're able. Chancellor Mnookin.
Dean Shim.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Human Ecology, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Science, Community and Organizational Development, Bachelor of Science, Consumer Behavior and Marketplace Studies, Bachelor of Science, Design, Innovation and Society, Bachelor of Science, Human Development and Family Studies, Bachelor of Science, Interior Architecture, Bachelor of Science, Personal Finance, Bachelor of Science, Textiles and Fashion Design. Candidates will please remain standing.
I now call upon Susan Zahner, Interim Dean of the School of Nursing.
Candidates for the bachelor's degree in the School of Nursing will please rise as they are able.
Dean Zahner.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Nursing, I present these candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Nursing. Candidates will remain standing.
All right, bachelor's degrees recipients, on the recommendation of the faculty and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, you will be admitted to the bachelor's degree appropriate to the course you have completed. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Please join me in a big round of applause for all of our bachelor's degree candidates. Now, class of 2025, you have arrived at an important milestone, the moment when you transition from students to alumni. Tradition dictates that before degree conferral, candidates will wear their tassel on the right side of their mortarboard. After commencement, to symbolize your new status as graduates, your tassel is worn on the left. Graduates, this is the time to move your tassel. Woo! Now, once again, congratulations to all of our bachelor's degree candidates. Please be seated until the marshals instruct you to proceed to the platform, and we will be reading your names.
School of Nursing, Johnny Blau, Melissa George, Miranda May Ostrowski, College of Letters and Sciences, Elizabeth Ann Cantwell, Madeline Mary Hutnick, James Whitelow, Fabian Corey Clark, Dean Eric Rico, Reddit DeRegi, Alvin Richard Shea, Christopher Muller, Ella Ann Bindle, Lucia Ruth Blad, Olivia Ray Rabe, Emma Rose Wandra, Matthew Raniero, FNU Yukta, Luke Michael Jansen, David Han, Xiao Yu, Raj Alexander Singhal, Nicholas Sola Bridge, Rachel Colt, Frederick Xiao, Jin Kim, Henry Schmidt, Jacob David Sepulveda, Jack Kim Garfin, Braden Beagle, Ryan Aguilar, Shona Ukwe, Sung Hoon Lee, Sisuan Yu, Huxuan Hu, Andrew David Dusick, Mai Wa Lee, Ma Ni Lai Lueng, Rachel Rao, Darian Yahan Hamidi, Taylor McCaw, Logan Firkenhoff, Jinwei Chen, Murat Litharum Ubika, Colin Crowder, Julia Shostak, Brendan Ramos, Xu Bing Shi, Yan Chun Tang, Hung Jing Li, Jun Ji Yan, Jae Hyun Park, Josh Liu, Glenn Haddock, Byron Sia, Sophia Emma Encarnacion, J.D. Hunt, Yuan-Sen Lee, Zihan Lu, Emily Ashrambo, Giselle Corinna Glunz, Nikhil Chatterjee, Sochi Kinyos, Angela Kui, Jude Mohammed Almazayan, Amelia Alien Tupong, Lydia Patrice Wosner, Oliver James Lyle, Dylan Thomas Billingsley, Rashab Jain, Weirfen Fang, Meg Malley, Jane Wallace, Sarah Danielson, Celeste Tatum Deal, David Meyer, Che Hwan Park, Jordan Leon Smith, Jared Karcher, Shuai Zhi Chen, Ke Xin Wen, Karal Bilo, Sammy Rakin Fairad, Morgan Mulya Harja Danita, Nikki Shear, Landon Propkopkinski, Dale Robert Edwardson, Sam Austin Shabani, Caitlin Ryan Lutz, and James Fairfield Thornton, Jisoo Kim, Harrison Gable, Angela Marie Gorton, Isha Kaur Puri, Myra Bugata, Ryun Palmun, Alan Chen, Michael Odya, Uthe Tiagi, Sydney Ellen Bauer, Sajia Hu, Timothy Daniel Murphy, Allison Louise Henke, Javal Charez Naidu, Abraham Tapia, Claire Zigadlo, Aaron Townsend, Marcus Adam Malling, Owen Rosengarten, Clinton Franklin Tompkins, Jet Lee Yang, Declan John Kane, Chi-En-Ga Yaning Gao, Jing Ma Ma, Tyler Hogan, D.T. Belly, Tianzhen Zhang, Abdullah Muhammad O. Jahani, Andrew Thames Thowald, Iris Wu, Seongrok Lee, Lillian Ray Barnes, Jack Thomas Zautner, John Edward Mertz, Among Udavanshi, Ritvik Gudlava Letty, Ukshay Gona, Leah Zushlog, Brendan James Allen, Yun Kun Wang, Sri Jia Wang, Zeppi Wang, Ben Hu, Alexis Ritchie, Tianyuan Ru, Ikai Chen, Arnesh Tarachan Daani, Gabriel Simon Levy, Maxwell Landon Levy, Evan Reese Williams, Wyatt Court Slack, Willow Shy, Sterling Zhong, Eric Robert Blank, Arantash Rohans Seyron, Melissa Catherine Raja Manuvel, Mia Rose Salbego, Madison Christine Barnes, Aviva Rubin, Ismail Jarel Vera, Swasti Singh, Colin Ryan, Rachel Poyner, Ava Mae Blank, Cameron Logan Helterbrand, Peter Liu, Gleb Zinko, Quinn Thompson Casey, Emma Catherine Deasley, Evia Udivorine, Elsa Gazo Briquette, Chu Ying Kui, Joan Lee, Jacob Christopher Justice, Mackenzie Sky Mnook, Stephanie Joe Beowulf, Lillian Christina Walbrun, Ian Connor Shanks, Ragad Abu Jabal, Brendan Ridner, Scott Su, Rasia Binti Zahid, Kate Martin, Emily Sturgill, Kevin Arthur Williams, Jasmine Filippi, Ashwin Talwalkar, Brendat Gubson Walbrun, Simran Ajay Desai, Rashika Gudis, Amber Anbo Chang, Jeremiah E. Woodruff, Ella Santoro, Elizabeth Renee Price, Amelie Kempf, Tessa Komp, Yusisi Fu, Yu Chen Wang, Greg Adler, Artem Zebrov, Zachary Nathan Raditz, John Frederick Chumli, Rue Hong Liu, Aishit Paliwal, Priyo Zhou Shi, Rachel Louise Shirey, Ainsley Reichert, Desiree Orr, Emily Udum Tampan, Leanne Maples, Tadeb Shakur Tabira, Tianrui Leng, Jun Long Chin, Maya Kathleen Farmer, Raymond James Spores, Yipeng Zhang, Derek Bernard Jones, Ali Tritt, Ava Jade Keen, Rongeze Wang, Victoria Frucci, Alexander Keith Howard, Nathan Roger Todstein, Zachary Alexander Farmer, Joseph Marshall Herman, Lance Taylor Gabrielson, Alex Bogachev, Bode Hanks Houston, Bruno Crump, Max William Edmonds, Daniel Golson, Hey Sun, Pramas Na Saldin, Christo Kumbahin Lara, Laura Ann Hyde, Megan Amelia Spirito, Panel Gupta, Michaela Schaefer, Madeline Roberta Hoens, Ella Zimmerman, Carson James Stone, Caden N. Thurm, Sophia Grace Millard, Ferris Allen Wolf, Maya Eaton Gadlin, Carolyn Miller, Anika Barbara Fitzpatrick Olson, Danielle Molina, Rohan Kanan, Pars Sawmill Amrunte, Laura Grace Quigley, Michaela Elizabeth Hughes, Cynthia Chang, Sarira Shah, Harsh Kandar Odawala, Arushi Chowdhury, Emily Yao, Aiden Simpkin, Zaim Shukrin Zaim Redtha, Swen Lung Kun, Shut Ya Zhang, Iris Yuhi Ding, Feng Ying Wang, Virginia Williams, Evan Salkalp Millet, Tanush Shrivastava, Ranveer Viradia, Nura Abdurallah Alamare, William Gunconnect, Connor Dewey, Emily Gertrude Rupplinger, Hannah Marie Gerstenkorn, Aditya Anandan, Praveen Padikaran, Ian Hamlin, Thomas Lee, Ryan Wickersham, George Randall Hoyt, Kyler Morgan, Isaac Michael Teal, Samantha Birdsall, Lily Elizabeth Eggers, Carmen Josephine Parpart, Nolan James Martsky, Sahil Tanmay Shah, Andre Akra, Charlie Ko, Eric Sun, Yi Sun, Jacob Henry Crabtree, John P. King, Bo-Chen Yang, Tong Gong, Yadua Wang, Ching Su Ju, Michael Mitchell, Greg Delane, Nathan Christopher Lampy, Jalak Kejriwal, Vibhu Mithal, Vardeen Kapoor, Devanish Sinha, Zachary Martin Olbrantz, Lauren Anita Wunderlich, Mason Elliott Langer, Don Juan Kim, William Erickson, Morgan Krista Humbert, Eleanor McCreen Holzinger, Yawen Liu, Talia Eve Lunkin, Lily Grace Gardner, Patrick Sun, Kiyu Chen, Zi Huang, Lena Yang, Sophia Tudo, Bom Song Kim, Adam Sherwood, Spencer Hay, Hannah Heiderreich, Abigail Ryan Botel, Larissa Yvonne Young, Lindsay Trimble, Lauren Turf, Minsok Yu, Matthew Exeter Thompson Jr., Janet Seidel, Haley Margaret Grohall, Ava Rose Gleiser, Sarah Elaine Perkins, Zarni Tet, Isaac Sean Mulliken, Rachel Christine Relke, Emily Marie Miller, McKenna Lee Gra, Mandy Grunewald, John Patrick Janowick Curley, Peter Owen Conrad, Malia Claire Becoy, Emma Elizabeth Steinberg, Tyson Franke, Rami Elsayed, Rose Ellington Hobson, Din Kwok Vuong, Mallory Pearl Connor, Asayel Hashem Ali Gaban, Desalyn Marie Clark, Jared Afrak, Arsh Banzel, Alex Potter, Jaden Tyler Pecora, Angelina Tanisha Raj, Eli Matthew Ensfield, Abed Mohammed, Luis Alfredo Granados, Danielle Karstens, Long Kap Tao, Lauren Goins, Kaveen Raja, Taylor Ball, Sophie Small, Andrew William Wilson, Connor Penfield, Tanuv Karnik, Talon Vorpal, Callie Ray Yankee, Lauren Elizabeth Spiller, David Huang, Chung Lee Law, Matt Michael Bloom, Bryn Lee Renee Kuhn, Jack Allen Esser, Sarah Silvers, David T. Siri, Brian Zumba, Kai Shek Jo, Abdata Adi, Emma Sari, Henry Ramirez, Che Kwan, Melia Marie Mulia, Susie Walker, Marie Marguerite Fries, Wen Tao Tai, Augustus Jonathan Wright, Matan Lieberman, Samantha Burkard, Richard Andrew Santa Cruz, Andrew James Lamont, Nathan Katowski, Avery Burns, Amanda Villalobos, Sophia Marie Everett, Aidan Alfors, Benjamin Chan, Desikand O. Morgan, John Henry Hadelstead, Kartiyaku Venlandki, Z. Axe, James Thomas Jablon, James Robert Patterson, Casey Scarlett Escovel, Lane Michael Gilbertson, Quan Chow, Adelaide Sophia Viscara, Sophia Michelle Pricer, Haley Joe Hoff, Elena Karina Rowell, Hannah Rohr, Visar Hashon, Morgan Mackenzie Schillinger, Young Woo Kim, Benjamin Menjo Chow, Sopat Singh, Anna Alexandra Konov, Maxine Alexander Konov, Ki Yihan, Anthony James Dupree, Wyatt Carlson, James Wang, Stephanie Garcia Lizama, Tian Kai Tong, Abhimanyu Gupta, Shai U Fisher, Beatrice Wang Sangguan, Ding Fu Lu, Xiao Wang, Amy Lee, Jane Park, Amar Huda, Yijun Ju, Haiyu Wu, Wen Chuan Tan, Sakang Suryasata Uranseti, Yue Gu, College of Engineering, Jiva Emmanuel Prikumar, KM Vu, Alexander Henry Barretts, Valerie Tello, Sarah Govarak, Erin Elizabeth Olson, Bianca Helene Navari, James Mitchell Luzbrock, Kyle Lawrence Navin, Woo Jae Kim, Alexis Grace Berrio, Ishan Rai, Nundishi Huresh Jugtiani, Benjamin Elijah Nagel, Madeline Eve Mayland, Catherine Jo Mangus, Adam Thomas Schertzinger, Anna Huang, Anna Doavan, Isaac Keys, Supanat Suri Yodorn, Noah Subcheck, Kyle East, Sam Jacob Christofferson, Elliot Patrick Harris, Vincent Idarola, Roy Ram Klein, Olivia Dobson, Henry Grant Huth, Lucas William Dye, Kyle Zenkovic, Odin Finn Hoffman Strati, Matthew Scott Bartz, Anita Gabur, Erica Judith Lowe, Ray Soon Longnan Waiton, Andy Lee, Arturo Jose Guadarrama Sanapanaz, Avery Crane, Wyan Vernon Allen, Owen Patrick Brown, Charles Francis Masek Landry, Damian Timothy Huppert, Alfred David Bassett, Carter Michael Bell, Mohammed Saleh Allers, Andrew Krish, Zachary Thomas Biernat, Vishnu Lukshmunun, Benjamin Kreis Frenchkoni, Idea Prasad, Benin Patrick Shaw, Tyler James Seafelt, Colin William Peck, Jackson Duberstein, Frederick Annabelle Trislow, Daniel Papikainetz, Mark Francis Ruzicka, Charles Doyle Gravel, Gage Burkhart, Ben Wolf, Joshua Allen LeCoyer, Joseph Cole Rothel, Nicholas Garcia, Rory Turner Johnson, Kyle Francis Conrad Lowe, Jacob Hayes Damrow, Ethan Lawrence Hager, Benjamin Thomas Barn, Ethan Aaron Daggett, Jackson Pent, Tanvin Krishna Theagarajun, Ryan Hansen, Lee Joseph Whitman, Quinn Jeffrey Johnson, Sidney Lauren Robertson, Lincoln Devine, Will Edmund Kruger, Aiden Thomas Meir, Spencer Patrick Scoggins, Adam Edward Wayland, Bo Richard Bernards, Christian Rhodes, Alexander Lapide Ikalina, Cesar Morales, Jacob Gittler, Aiden Carney, Michael Gross, Ubinuv Mushti, Karan Reddy, Daniel Hui-Yong Baik, Nicole Chemnitz, Christine Nicole Mengi, Kohler Zulke, Zach T. Gunderson, Jacob Rozhanki, John Ramos, Dominic Greco, Akpan Aluatosin Morgan, Samir Joet Kur, Naiha Kulkarni, Benjamin Tobalt Weiss, Arzelia J. Ugeli, Stephen Bale, Jacqueline Nicholas, Marie Judith Simonole, Wengsheng Hu, Greta Marie Hain, Nicholas Samuel Riley, Joshua Dean Helgeson, Lucas Wesley Mertz, Alexander Mark Moser, Adam Komplevitz, Guangdong Kong, Westen Schmitz, Song Hyun Nam, Maxwell Remus Melitas, Zahid Al-Haji, Raymond Kotaro Tainlag, Shaub Aurora, Ethan Will Hermanson, Zoe May Weiss, Bridget Jean Wolf, Mika David Schoff, Daniel Zimmerman, Jake Luis Herman, Callum Thomas Wisher, Phoebe Jerome, Justin William Gerke, Lorenzo Roberta Zamara, Zachary Kenneth Weiss, Rudy Wicker, Jeffrey George Rosso, Nicolas Caravergos, Theo Parr, Carter Stoffaker, Vincent Dale Vamigam, Tony Tian, Matthew Kenneth Green, Maxwell Donovan Yankee, Coleman Daniel Cannelli, Maggie Grant Kasdorf, Eden Marie Dempsey, Erin Yeager, Claudia Rose Hay, Claire McCraw, Lofton Anthony Putzer, Angel Salas, Andrew Peter Moritz, Yi-Ling He, Veronica Kim, Hannah Cederholm, Jake Evans, Tiina Larorpritz, the School of Business, Adam Brian Schulist, Taylor Lynn Geisman, Nathan David Woida, Andrew Jeffrey Keenis, Michael Cooper Penny, Garrison Christopher Gregory, Oliver Quayoneli Angelby, Wyatt Drexler, Fars Al-Kilawi, Melina Duangmala, Arthi Gupta, Katie Guadalupe Ramirez, Charles Cavens Maloney, Christian Hobbs, Sage Lakia Parales, Sarah Ann Stevens, Lauren Elizabeth Oberle, Kaylee Ziender, Andrew Wren, Nicholas Lloyd Shapoff, Nicholas Vera Arroyo, Michael Giolitti, Elijah Koleski, Simon Bauer, Carlos E. Hernandez Chaparro, Dorian Xavier Jones, Kashi Costello, Henry Mering, Caden Howard Rector, Marcus Kochonsky, Grace Robbins, Z Ni Chi, Nestor Antonio Feliciano Perez, Harley Joe Walters, Willow Diedrich, Amber Lynn Crawford, Amir Khalid Mansour, Courtney Lynn Loffenberg, Lauren Chase Peterson, Elizabeth Christina Bolton, Lefen Margaret Sun, Yontian Tseng, Lindsay Gilgi, Hajra Sayada, Abby Lee Seltzer, Maxwell James Van Villet, Diego Dan Hain, Unvith Arun Veti, Eric Johnson, Amanda Donna Licht, the School of Human Ecology,
Kaina Martinez, Kylie Lee Hawkinson, Preston Wateska, Nick Stumpf, Alicia Rawls, Tatiana Tandias, Zoe Astor Zanussi, Yasmin Hill, Vanessa Elizabeth Bahena Hernandez, Chiao-Chu Lee, Catherine Barrow, Yaoi Wong, Jada Brown, Maya Lauren Bloss, Molly Shockett, Kaylee O'Connor, Cora Jonah Wendt, Joseph John Hemmer, Alexandria Frias, Lily Rose Patrice Erdman, Intutia Lee, Joseph Hammer, Ryan Olson, Mayoran Liao, Gabrielle Grace Weber, Kyle Klebo, Anthony Shong, Tae Sung Huang, Julia Fisher, Yu Chin Kiang, Carter James Anderson, Wade Thomas Stinson, Reed William Geiger, Nathaniel Vakos, Gavin Lom, Vinny Anthony, Sebastian Cheeks, Jaden Anthony Ballard, Logan Fink, Jackson Ryan Slayton, Corey Weber, Peter Mulder, Miguel Angel Ruiz, Haley Renee Krause, Abigail Needham, Lily Hannibal, Tracy Wambui, Natalie C. Flores Macias, Yahui Shen, Bryn Margine Schneider, Nia Heron, Fiona Hartanto, School of Education, Patrick Schrader, Molecular Hopkins Sheets, Sarah Erica Selwyn, Emily Walker, Mizuleka Hekna Mailan McCarthy, Sam Arshan Osokwi, Sarah Noel Kopp, Catherine Riley, Charles Marlowe, Lily Zhang Schertler, Megalise Catherine Bierce, Rachel Robinson, Nolan Prokush, Serenity Young, Marley Tuma, Olivia Michaela Miller, Sophia Cutie, Kelty Neff, Torrance Jones Spencer, Liv Annalise Fossum, Ali Rice, Lucas Michael Mandel, Peyton Elizabeth Antonis, Rhea C. Dayton, Jada Sudmeyer, Tatiana Kinjuk, Emily Christian Cheng, Brittany Paola Barrera Gonzalez, Lee Amber Pazderosa, Sydney James, Hannah Pahula, Anya Guyland Nygaard, Celeste Soto, Marco Michelli, Ethan Lee Collins, Sawyer Schmidt, Owen Noctegal, Diego Alberto Rubaclava Munoz, Peach Wong, Isabel Grace Sapugwe Whitten, Claire Borchardt, College of Agricultural and Life Sciences, Lucy Marie Werzinger, Soroshi Nasievyam Janake, Jada Lene Salam, Ali Lynn Malikote, Trinity Perry, Michaela Rose Eugene, Robin Nicole Patterson, Reese Noel Honke, Elise Mae McGowan Olson, Jia Tong Duan, Her Zhang, Caitlin Anderson, Micah Bristol, Riley Patrick Knorr, Alexis Arnold, Jonah William Dawson, Bradley Matthew Anderson, Jung Ho Choi, Brooke Elise Hooper, Caitlin Fung, Isaac McKeon, Deanna Yu Wilson, Marisa Tex, Natalie Ann Newth, Miles Burbach, Jack Arthur Rummel, Emily Nicole Valentine, Ava Duncern, Sam Branischwag, David Wong, Shin Lin, Jonathan Charles Minnis, Michael Herlihy, Calvin Cowell, Evan Hitch, Sloan Elizabeth Fisher, Tanner Candlin Turek, Lindsay Mary Welsh, Mason Harris Lind, Madeline Bilbrey, Nicole Dubin, Lindsay McDonald, Janessa Chloe Reglos, Elizabeth Pitts, Claire Cecilia O'Leary, Shin Tong Lee, Nathan Sorensen, Garrison Jerome Korn, Mary Ann Marie Gudenkoff, Andrew Michael Detman, Alexander Richardson, Sadie Catherine Stark, Joseph Michael Stewart, Caitlin Garb, Yiyat Aslan, Brian Sanborn, Yujia Du, Yeon Jun Lee, Sophia Hofer, Abigail Shaver, Jasmine Estrella Lara, Julia Galivo Sipe, Emma Gray Corrado, Skylar Sandra Schultz, Isabel Rose Abad, Nicholas McDonough, Liam Isaac Martin, Kate Louise Clean, Patrick Thomas Ashbrook, Simon Belson Razdolski, Sawyer Susan Norby, Leah Elizabeth Heim, Sierra Bella Giambalvo, Emily Nicole Beinert, Perry Witt Karmatz, Chi Lon Ding, Tong Nguyen, Eliana Cook, KK Thujwat, Bridget Wu, Amanda Han, Mengyu Liang, Youngzi Cheng, Clara Kim, Yoonji Lee, John Patrick Wolbert, Gitara Bryn Fai, Andrew Samuel Molochenko, Ming Wong, Max Michael Owens, Ziki Liu, Stanley Pete, Olivia Gwynn Dahl, Calvin Merriweather Green, Jackson Talbert, Luca Cesare, Ethan Pawa, Aditya Daltla, Gianna Kozomara, Yunyi Zhu, Man Wu, George Polychronopoulos, Jenna Makwana, Sophia Reiner, Christian Bonanno, Tay Campbell, Neil Shaimani, David Thacker, John Rovisrosa Ilya, Samuel Edmondson, Grace Judith Edwards, Crystal Chan, Sindhu Krishnan, Yu Yang Liu, William Chen, Yushuan Wu, Mackenzie Beyer, Monica Lynn Kemstra, Sarah Caroline Schwartz, Davis Friedrich Ewell, John Joseph Berzinger, Yir Fan, Yulin Yao, Hanlin Zhu, Zifeng Li, Brian Q, Tim Yang, Andreas Musa, Sydney Sky Frederick, Seungjin Park, Hyunming Kang, Jay Choi, Sam Lee, Lily Shen, Matthew Mandy, Yaqiao Zhang, Flora He, Serenity Given Sheets, Leah Shen, Xiaochen Wang, Baya Zhang, Zach Thomas Shainfelt, Parker Henry Peterson, Corey Walker, Bumjun Kwon, Xinyun Lee, Anki Liu, Luke Benjamin Johnson, Lucy Xian, Amelia Jane Geis, Nora Baker Stokes, Bochiang Zhang, Aditiri Shah, Amitesh Shah, Ahmed Fuad Al-Karam, Mridul Nar Baskaran, Sabil Samra, Jianshan Zhang, Nathan Jafat Castro Llanos,
Well, if that was one more round of applause for all the bachelor's degree candidates, let's now have one more round of applause for all of today's graduates. A huge Badger congratulations to all of our graduates, and a big thank you to the family members and friends whose support and encouragement made this proud day possible. Wishing you all the very, very best. Come back often, and of course, on Wisconsin. Congratulations, graduates. To bring our celebration to a conclusion today, please rise as you are able and join the university's Meade-Witter School of Music Commencement Band in the singing of our alma mater varsity. Congratulations.